feminism as the largest social movement in history. It's about giving all an opportunity to succeed in life and to be given the choices to participate fully in society.
I guess I define feminism as the belief that women and men are equal in every way and shouldn't be treated any differently and basically shouldn't be differentiated in any way besides gender identity.
Feminism as a inclusive, all-encompassing ideology that acknowledges that all forms of oppression are interconnected and fights for the human rights of women, people of color, members of the LGBT community, as well as other marginalized groups.
I guess to me, I don't really like to define something that's so large and diverse, but for me, feminism is about liberation.
I define feminism as a movement that's basically trying to get support and understanding for a lot of marginalized groups that aren't fully comprehended and have like stereotypes that people just don't understand, and basically get people to be more aware of how to be more inclusive.
I would define feminism as standing up for women's rights and fighting for women to have the same power as men, like in society and in politics.
Define feminism as the equal rights and equal treatment for everybody regardless of your race, your gender, your sex, orientation, class, age, all different types of layers to identity, and regardless of what your identity is, you should have equal opportunity and equal treatment.
Feminism is the struggle to find equality for all women, men, and children. I say it's a struggle because we have much work left to be done.
While there are some positive stereotypes, like strong, independent, and things like that, the stereotypes of feminists are overwhelmingly negative, like that they hate men, that they are kind of cold and whiny and entitled, and I think that these are all attempts to derail the conversation away from issues and that the people in power don't want to discuss.
Lesbian, dykish, men-hating, definitely. Like really outspoken women, which I think is seen as a bad thing, but for me, I'm like, that's a good thing. Outspoken women are good, so yeah, that's good.
Man-haters and bra burners and people who don't shave their legs and stuff like that, and all the really like crazy radical ideas that you hear when you hear somebody identifying with the term feminist.
Like they just get the most ridiculous stereotypes, and I think people like do it, and yet a lot of people hold the same beliefs, they just don't want to hold the same title.
That's kind of a complication being male, just because like I did, and then I was reading some stuff from like women who said that they don't feel comfortable with men identifying as feminists because they haven't had the female experience. So I'd say, if not that, I'd identify as a feminist ally, where I support the feminist cause fully, and I like work for it, but I wouldn't. But like, I guess when it comes down to it, if like women don't feel comfortable with men identifying as feminists, I'd say identify as a feminist ally.
Yes, I do identify as a feminist because women are not equal in this country yet and are not given equal opportunities. Some people argue that, but in our Constitution, women are not equal.
Yes, I think it's typically, or maybe it's starting to change Like it's not really as much of a dirty word anymore. It's kind of, as people realize what it's really about and the misconceptions are kind of cleared away, that people realize that it's not just about like thinking that women are better than men or deserve more than men, or just hating men in general, or anything like that.
Feminism has gotten a very bad rap, bad public relations, and I do think that probably the politics of abortion is the very foundation of that bad rap.
Yes, I've experienced racial slurs. I've endured a lot of racial discrimination. I've endured a little bit of feminist or gender discrimination. Not as much. I try not to focus on everything, because if I thought about everything and how I was being discriminated against, I would not want to do anything.
Definitely. It's hard to think of a specific situation, but I don't know, like my cousin is a black woman and she is visibly queer, and I mean she gets pulled over all the time when she's driving, and like I'm sure she's going over the speed limit because that's what everyone does, but like probably not more than anybody else, but she gets stopped all the time.
Boys wanna be her, the girls wanna be her, the boys wanna be her, the girls wanna be her, the boys wanna be her, the girls.
There definitely is a feminist movement. Just by the fact that you guys are making this video about feminism shows that there is a feminist movement. And I have plenty of friends who identify as feminists, and we all fight for social justice and equality. And so yes, the feminist movement is definitely alive and well, although I think that it's more so online. I just saw an infographic on the impact that women have had, feminists in particular, have had online in fighting for social justice. And it's incredible how many people that it can reach through the internet. And it has the potential to be so much stronger than the first wave or second wave feminist movements, and I'm hoping that we're entering into the third wave.
Definitely don't think we're in a post-feminist time. I feel like one of the things that feminism needs to, I guess one of the main aims right now should be just to get people like to realize that there are still a lot of issues for women and for gender equality, and that we're not in a post-feminist time, because I think a lot of the things that feminism started out trying to solve and rectify, they've been partially solved, but people are kind of accepting that partial solution as like a final solution. And also I think as things like gender and sexuality are becoming more like more visibly complicated and more diverse, people need to work to ensure that people of all kinds of gender identities and sexualities feel comfortable expressing that in whatever way makes them happy.
We live in a post-feminist time. I think something that's really important that the feminist movement has been lacking is intersectionality and including individuals whose voices have been silenced in the past.
We are definitely not in a post-feminist time. We have much more work to do. If those of us who have worked in the past are burnt out, that's understandable, but let's inspire those who have not been on the front to carry on the work. I definitely think that we should be working for social justice, for economic justice, especially economic justice. Women and children are suffering terribly in these economic times. Children are the largest group of impoverished people in the United States right now. I think this is a disgrace. I truly think that all of us as feminists, women, men, have the duty to pursue economic equality for all women, regardless of race, class, whatever. Economic equality will be something for which we should strive, and we should do so particularly for minorities who are unable to carry on the fight because of all the other pressures they have in this society. We should join hands with other women of other races and ethnicities to carry out this struggle. We should join hands with men who are sympathetic to our cause. So the work is far from over, and I don't think we're in an era which is post-feminist at all. We're needed more than ever.
Give a damn for my bad reputation.